Do not move to Denver in 2024 without watching this video first. We are going to address some of the concerns people have about moving to Denver, including some things that from a recent video came up a lot in the comments. So stay tuned, and we are going to have some specific things for 2024 you're going to want to know before you make the move here. I'm Tim Campman, realtor for the Denver metro area. Guys, when you need help making a move in and around Denver, whether that's maybe Denver or one of the amazing suburbs around Denver, please hit me up at the information on the screen. I am a licensed broker here, and as such, we're going to make sure that we abide by the rules of fair housing and make sure we're not steering you in or away from a particular neighborhood, but we are going to give you the facts and what it is like to live in Denver, concerns people have, and things that people love about living here. So make sure you hit me up. We can find the best neighborhood and the best area of Colorado for you. Okay, let's skew negative to start, of course. Let's go with one of the cons of living in Colorado and specifically Denver, and that is cost of living. Cost of living has skyrocketed over the last 10 years. Denver used to be an affordable place to live. A lot of people would come here from different parts of the country that had exorbitant cost of livings in their area, like Boston and New York, and we still actually do have a lot of that happening still, but it has caused the price of housing and everything to go up in the Denver metro area. Currently, average single-family home in Denver, now this is within the city of Denver, is $558,000. So that is a little bit higher than the national average of about $425,000 for a single-family home. There are definitely ways to combat that. If you guys are looking for a little bit bigger home, you don't like what you can get for $550,000 in the city of Denver, and you just want better value for your money, moving outside of that Denver urban area can get you a lot more, and your dollar will go a lot further. So areas that are a little bit more affordable on the outskirts of Denver, like Broomfield and Brighton and Commerce City on the north end, and then you have towns on the south end like Parker and Castle Rock. You can get more for your money price per square foot when you compare homes there to the interior of Denver. So con number one, cost of living higher, housing prices higher, but there are definitely ways to combat that. You can actually, if you guys are willing to move outside that Denver bubble, kind of outside that C470 area, areas like Strasburg and Bennett are growing, and they're kind of not yet known. A lot of people, don't want to move out there because it's out past the airport, but if you work out at the airport, this could be an amazing option for you because you can get new construction in those areas for under $500,000 for a single family, brand new home. And within the areas of Denver, that is almost unheard of nowadays to get new construction at that price. So make sure you call and we get you set up for success so we can really identify which neighborhood is right for you and which area of the state might be the best fit for you. Okay, con number two, this came up a lot in the comments on a video I did about people leaving Denver, why people are moving out, and a big thing that people had mentioned was crime and homelessness on the rise. So per capita, we still have a fairly low crime rate compared to the rest of the nation, but when you come from a dusty old cow town where almost nothing happened, was very quiet, the streets rolled up at 8 o'clock and it was just a quiet community to live in, to a town exploding with growth and 3 million people live within the Denver metro area when previously we only had 3 million people across the entire state. That is going to bring with it some additional challenges and problems. So a lot of people had mentioned in the comments that Denver has just become a dumpster fire. It's filled with homeless. There's no reason anyone wants to live here yet, but we have about 50,000 people still moving here every single year from different parts of the country. So some things that the city is doing to combat the homeless problem going into 2024 is they're allocating $14 million to increasing the police force, adding additional officers to the patrol division, adding new mental health workers to work in conjunction with the police department, as well as they've proposed building a tiny home village to house some of the homeless in and around Denver. These would be homes you see on like Tiny Home Nation where they're 300 to 500 square feet. Very small, and they can pack a lot into a specific area. Will this work? Who knows? Only time will tell, but the city is taking steps to address the problem because hopefully they finally realize that it has become a problem, and we just don't want to have a homeless encampment or people pitching a tent right outside your front door. It's just not good for the neighborhood as a whole, the city as a whole, and for now, along with home prices, if you're willing to move outside of the metro area, going to areas that are a little bit outside the urban corridor, not only are you going to get a better home price and more value per square foot, but you're also not going to have to deal with that issue that I mentioned previously. It's fairly contained to areas of Denver and Aurora. They do go out into some of the other suburbs that are directly surrounding Denver and butting up to Denver when you look at the map. But if you move out further from those areas, you're just not going to have those same challenges as Denver has. Okay, another con. This is actually a pro for me, but a con for a lot of people is Denver is very car dependent. We do have a public transportation system, RTD, and we do have a light rail system that runs through Denver, but it mainly is for Denver. It's not for all of the suburbs that are surrounding Denver and around Denver. Light rail and the bus system will handle everywhere you need to get to within Denver, and it will handle a lot of the suburbs like Littleton, Inglewood, parts of Aurora, and even up to areas of Thornton and North Glen on the north end. But it doesn't handle the outskirts of the area, and from what I've heard from a lot of people who use it fairly regularly is it can be a little hit or miss if the buses and trains are running on time. So what a lot of people who are locals use the public transportation system for are getting into Denver, whether that's going down to, Ball Arena or the stadium for a professional sporting event or a concert, just so they don't have to fight the traffic and don't have to, pay for parking when you get down to those areas. But for the most part, the public transportation system just handles kind of the interior of Denver. If you're going to go outside into areas like Parker and Castle Rock, Larkspur, and even areas further north, you're not going to have the public transportation system available to you, so you are going to be car dependent. Now, for a lot of people, that is a plus, because when you move out to Denver, you want the freedom and the ability to go out, move, and explore different areas, head up to the high country. So if you're moving to Colorado, plan on having a vehicle. Okay, another con that came up a lot in the comments in recent videos were there are too many people moving here. It's getting too crowded. Traffic is too bad. There's too many Californians here. There's too many Texans here. Regardless of where you're from, locals, especially if they have been here for 40, 50 years, sometimes they will not like transplants from other parts of the country. They enjoyed the small town feel that Colorado had and Denver had in particular. 30 or 40 years ago, but since it's become so popular because it's such a beautiful place to live, there have been a lot of transplants coming here, and that has, one, increased the traffic. So obviously we do have worse traffic now than we did 5 and 10 years ago. If you compare it to places like Houston and some parts of California, our traffic problem is not really as bad as people make it out to be. Okay, another pro for Denver is we have a fairly robust economy and strong job market. So number one employer here in the state of Colorado is the federal government, followed by state governments. So you do have very stable employment here for people that are relocating here, but you also have a lot of tech jobs, a lot of jobs in engineering fields, professional, whether that's the space program with Lockheed Martin or some of the others. There's also several financial headquarters that are here. Western Union has a headquarters down here in the Denver metro area. So there are a lot of job opportunities. We have a higher median salary when it compares to the rest of the nation. Right now we're sitting at about $78,000 median household income, so that is above the national median, which does help combat some of those higher prices. We also have a lot of jobs here in the healthcare field. So one thing that Colorado has really expanded on is healthcare in the last 5 years. We do have one of the top children's hospitals in the nation. I know people that have had children that have health issues coming here from different parts of the country, Kansas, Nebraska, even Iowa, to come here for the children's hospital that is located in Aurora, Colorado. So we do have a fairly robust healthcare system and a lot of job opportunities here in the Denver metro area. All right, another thing to consider moving here to Denver, dogs are everywhere. Colorado is probably one of the most dog-friendly states in the entire U.S. We have dogs everywhere, and they go everywhere with their owners, whether that's Home Depot or Lowe's or sitting outside of a restaurant. People have their dogs everywhere with them all the time. You'll see people walking their dogs, and there's dog parks all over the city. So if you're not a dog lover, maybe Colorado is just not for you. Something to remember when you move here is there are a lot of outdoor activities to do, and so as a result, a lot of people enjoy doing those with their dogs, and people take their dogs almost everywhere. So it's not uncommon to see someone walking their dog through a Home Depot aisles while they're shopping for a refrigerator, or even out for Sunday brunch, going out with their dog. All right, and another pro to living in Denver and Colorado as a whole is, guys, it is just a beautiful place. If you drive around and from Denver, looking to the west, watching those Rocky Mountains and seeing the majesty of the snow-capped Rockies, it is just a beautiful place to live with a lot of amenities to do. And to be honest, we have a lot of very nice weather here. Even in the winter, they're pretty mild, but we will get snowstorms up into that late spring that kind of put a downer when you're trying to kick off summer and kick off spring and get out of those winter doldrums. For the most part, like we're in December, we have a lot of 60 and even 70-degree days up until the middle of December as we get into the Christmas season. But Colorado has very mild weather. It's very dry here, so you're going to have to drink a lot of water and lotion up while you're here, but it is a very beautiful place with a lot of beautiful landscapes and a lot of outdoor activities to do. All right, guys, I hope you found a few of these nuggets on pros and cons of living in Denver in 2024 valuable. I hope that when you are thinking of a move here, you hit me up, because we will not only identify the right neighborhood for you, but we will be able to find the right house for you going forward. So make sure you call, text, or email. Make sure that you have someone on your side when you're relocating here to Denver. Or if you've decided, hey, you know what, Denver has been a great place to live for a while, but I don't like it anymore, I'm ready to move on to other places, please hit me up and we will help you with your relocation in or around Denver.